All right, real quick for the ladies. Well, before, because I know you guys are talking about this, but I have a question here. It might take you a second to think about it, but what I want you to do is I want you to tell me or think about, right, how has your career affected your ability to meet a man and be courted? I want the good, the bad, and the ugly. So 3 different scenarios here. One more time. How has your career choice affected your ability to meet and be courted by men? The good, the bad, the ugly. All right? So, sorry, you guys were saying something?
No, Melissa, what do you think? Is your career choice working at Sapphire, has it affected your ability to date?
No.
Can you get the microphone?
No, it has not.
Well, so
I think it actually made it better. Like, I ended up in a throuple situation.
That sounds incredible.
I dated my boyfriend for a year, and then like
twice as many lovers.
And just so you guys know, I'm going to take this question and start here and then work my way this way. So just think about it. Good, the bad, the ugly. How your career choices has affected your ability to meet and be courted by men. Sorry.
So honestly, I don't think there's no like bad or ugly in my situation, because I feel like ever since I started dancing and doing OnlyFans, like my life's been very positive.
Have you met any man who has judged you at all for dancing that you've been attracted to?
Yes, I was actually talking to this other guy. We dated for like a week. Actually, like he just broke up with me like a week ago. I was talking to him, but he was like,
I have the same question. Wait. I know exactly where you're going, Marco.
What about the throuple you were in?
Yeah, what about the throuple?
Connecting here.
Well, I mean, they were at home waiting for me. I would go see this man, but...
But he broke up with you. Hold on. Did he break up with you because of the OnlyFans, the stripping, or the throuple? Which one of the 3?
He did not know about the throuple. He just thought it was just me and him.
So you're
well, you know what? He knows now. Keep going.
Yeah, he knows now. But he was like the only man that actually judged me from dancing. But he met me at Sapphire, and then we like started talking or whatever. And then he wanted like to date me. So I was like, okay, but I mean, I guess it was more like a sugar daddy.
Exactly, business.
But yeah, so like we were all on the same page, but like I was willing, but like, yeah, he like broke up with me a week ago, but he was the only one who judged me with everything I did, and he was like, oh yeah, I'll support your OnlyFans and whatever, but I don't think he liked it because like he just broke up with me like a week ago.
A trick? Try not to be a trick.
Yeah, he wanted more like the girlfriend. He wanted more like the girlfriend experience. Like he did not want to feel like a sugar daddy. So like I provided that until he did not like anymore. And that's crazy because just a few days before he broke up with me, he was like, yeah, like even if you have to have, because I only collab with women right now. But he was like, if you need to collab with like a man or whatever, like I'll still support that. But I don't know what happened to him. He's just like,
girl, he didn't want to pay your bills, girl.
I know, right?
Come on, you know better. Girl, please.
They meet you getting your money, but they don't want to set for flat.
But I don't think like that would be like my only bad experience I experienced from dancing and being an OnlyFans girl. But other than that, like my whole life been very positive. Like my life just turned around to like a positive side. Doing this, so I'm like very happy and I love it, and I'm a very sexual person already myself, so I love it.
You're like,
okay. What about for you? How has your career choices affected your ability?
So I've actually seen kind of both sides of the spectrum, which is very enlightening, I guess you would say. When I was younger, I did dance. I don't like to tell people that right away because I do feel like they have a preconceived notion since we are getting to the point of people judging and such. I learned a lot when I was young going...
Okay, just the good, the bad, the ugly.
I'll get to that. Anyway, so the good being...
The good being... girls here. Like, we got to make sure... We got to show the run.
You let her talk for like 10 minutes, so let me just finish my answer. Thank you.
Whoa.
You asked me a question, so I'm trying to answer.
Stop.
You didn't go good, bad, ugly to her, so let me just kind of explain what I'm trying to say.
No. Look. Let me be very clear here. We have a question routine that we have here. Just answer the question nice and succinctly because she was going ahead and mentioning something. She was already talking before the question was asked.
All right.
So that's why I was like, all right, let her finish out so the rest of you can have time to think and come up with the good, the bad, and the ugly.
She got lucky.
That's my bad. That's my bad. I asked the question, and we kept going on. Go
Understood.
Go ahead, tell her.
So I would say the good being in being ambitious and going for different things in my life. I would say it intimidates certain types of men, and that's totally okay. The good parts, I would say it's empowered me to be very independent and learn, what fulfills me, what I'm into, and then I would guess the ugly would be kind of going back to that insecurity or intimidating, trying to be two alphas in the household or two bosses in the household doesn't always work necessarily. So I have to find someone that can kind of put me in my place, since I'm used to always being like, you know,
Is
in
it hard
charge.
to find, you think?
I do. I feel like it takes finding like a real man, like a man's man that is completely comfortable in his own skin and has no qualms about bullshit. And today's society, there's the men I feel like are just caught up in, and in the women too. I'm not putting one or the other. I'm just saying I feel like the priorities of the male have gone where it's not.
It's tough.
It's tough.
So the good is you're ambitious and independent. The negative is men are intimidated by that.
Correct.
And then the ugly is it's difficult to find a guy that will deal with you.
Correct.
Thank you. All right.
Are we
Facts.
responding at all? Or are we just getting
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So one, I want to affirm you because I appreciate you being honest, because most people are liars, especially. So I appreciate you keeping it real about something that could make you vulnerable. So thank you for that. Much respect. Consistently, we hear women suggest that men are intimidated by them. I think this is the biggest load of horseshit I've ever heard in my life. And as much as, what are you, like 5'3", 5'4"? Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're 5'4". And why would anyone be intimidated by you?
I don't mean like physically intimidated.
No,
maybe they feel they don't have something to offer me because I can provide that for myself.
It's a metaphor. You're 5'4", you're a woman. You making more money doesn't make you more or less intimidating.
Just because it doesn't to you doesn't mean it doesn't to other men.
That's what I was getting at. Certain men that are comfortable in their own skin, they have no problem. They love that about me.
Is this like a hate women podcast? Because I didn't know this what the fuck we're doing.
These guys are super nice.
Yeah, I know. I didn't realize I'm not about to be ridiculed because I'm a fucking boss ass bitch.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that we can't lie and suggest that guys are intimidated.
We didn't say everyone, just like.
One second,
she didn't lie.
We don't have to say that they're intimidated when their value set is
Some
not
are.
That's a great
Danny,
valid
how many
point.
times you gonna interrupt me? You gonna let me make this point?
But it's just
and
like
then
you saying
respond?
every bitch is a prostitute that gets a sugar daddy. No, they're not.
But
My
here's
dad,
the
my
thing.
mom had a sugar daddy, and she's not a prostitute.
If you let me finish and then you speak,
I'm
then
just
we
saying
can
you're
both
the
be
typical
heard.
example of a stereotyping us women.
But no, when you're interrupting, then it shows why you don't get along in a relationship with a man. But if you just listen to me,
I don't want to get along in a relationship
and then
with
I
a man.
listen to you, then we can have a.
See, this is really relatable for me because I've had these conversations with men, and I've had to learn
because they're
I
women
can be
haters.
a boss bitch without being the loudest
I
in
didn't
the
know
room
that all this
or the
was
biggest
this.
in the room, and that's kind of learning tact.
My life is really
and learning.
peaceful. I don't.
Right, so this kind of
This is
behavior
super
right here,
negative.
this is when they call
kind of
themselves
behavior?
alpha, or they call themselves boss. Well, that's not alpha, or that's not being a boss. That's being impolite. That's being rude. That's not being
You're
feminine.
being rude to everyone here.
Because we all have a chance to speak, but you're speaking while I'm speaking. Can you
But
at
you
least
can put everyone
acknowledge?
down? That's
can you
crazy.
acknowledge that you were speaking while I was speaking?
I'm gonna stick up for.
I hear you, but can
me
you
and
acknowledge
everybody
that you were
else, 'cause
speaking
I didn't know
while
this was a hate
Revenge?
women shit.
Can you acknowledge that you were speaking
What?
while I was speaking and
What
I
did
was
you say?
talking to you?
Van Brevel.
So we move this.
I'm fine.
We'll move this along,
But
Taylor.
are you?
A lot of times when people say,
Oh, I'm great.
a lot of times when people say intimidated, they mean like a
this
preference.
Is like crazy.
They mean a preference. Does that make
That
sense?
was quick.
Yeah, it is because I'm
That
not
was
about
really
to be
quick.
fucking hated on because I'm a fucking woman. And like you literally
I don't
been
think
like,
it's hating.
You're leaving
Just
then?
having a discussion.
of course I'm.
Okay. All right, then just leave.
Yeah, bye.
That was really
Babe, I'm
quick.
leaving. Can I walk the fuck away?
Leave. Don't make
Yeah,
it
you
a
can do
whole
that.
Yelling,
Oh,
theatric.
don't worry.
Just get up and
Yelling.
leave.
Don't
Just get up
worry.
and leave.
angry,
Don't fucking tell me what to do when I'm
very
getting up.
angry.
Just leave.
Yikes.
I'm
now you're
leaving.
creating-
I'm walking
Why are
away.
you yelling
You're just
at
making
her?
yourself look
Anyways.
crazy now.
Making myself look crazy. All you do is ridicule women. And
Did you ask why she was
I
yelling?
thought we were being pretty polite.
Very
And you were
mean.
just
Just leave.
yelling 30 minutes ago?
I
Very
have to
mean.
walk by.
Yeah, okay.
But men aren't attracted to these boss women.
Yeah, fucking ridiculous, man. The people that know her whack
Not
out.
really.
So that's what I'm getting at. I've had to find the happy medium between being a boss woman, but knowing that there's a time and a place for it, and knowing when I'm with my man or the right man per se, that I don't have to like knuckle up or like prove anything or like get all loud. And
Yeah.
I used to be that. I mean,
Listen,
they've seen me get like that
so
in
many
here.
girls have done that.
But-
They drive away the alpha men that they're attracted to. They
It's a fact.
They keep
No, it is
driving,
a fact.
They're attracted
I'll
to
own
alpha
that.
men, and they keep driving them away. And
It
that's
is
what
a
girls
fact.
need to identify when there's this aggressiveness, and they're
Very
always
aggressive.
attracted to the same alpha men. But then they go with them for a minute, and they're too aggressive. The guy's just like, bye.
You could be a badass,
listen,
confident
that's
woman,
smart that
but you
you've
don't have to be
identified that.
It was
aggressive.
simple.
She hasn't. That's why
Breathe
she's
in,
single.
breathe out.
The thing that I find strange is like it's dishonesty through redefinition. So we're talking about a boss, right? I wish she was here so I could say, okay, you're a boss. What's the highest number of employees you've had? It's the highest number of employees you've had since you're a boss. I have an eerie feeling that she's really not a boss. She's in the service industry and just doesn't realize
it's the vocabulary. I feel like the society has lost the vocabulary. We use words that we say words that don't mean what we're saying, and that's why
which is also
people are
known
always,
as a lie.
Totally.
So she's actually sitting next to a boss, but she's not a boss. And I think that's why she got so uncomfortable. And she said, how can I get out of here so that I don't have to deal with this level of conversation? It was an escape move. And here's the thing. I've seen this before. Same thing Adam 22 did. When he saw it getting hot on one person, he thought, oh, shoot, I'm next. Let me do something and have an outburst so I can make an exit. When in reality, when I was talking to you, I have a lot of respect for you. You're an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. First thing I did is said, hey, let me acknowledge that you told us something you didn't have to tell us.
Thank you. And I appreciate that.
Right?
And I don't necessarily agree with everything you have to say, but I can respect you enough to hear your point of view and hope that you vice versa.
And we can have a dialogue.
We don't have to all agree on everything, but we should be able to talk like adults.
It's taken time, though, y'all, for me to get to this point. I mean, Rome wasn't built in a day.
Now, we know she was lying and frauding because how is it that she's more mad than you are and I was talking to you?
Well, she's obviously triggered by her own issues, and I felt for her because I understand what she's trying to say, and I can agree to her points.
I just think bad for her too.
I think, like me, I had to learn how to articulate my points of view in a way that truly made a difference versus making a scene or making it emotional.
You know what I think the difference is between you and her is that you have some level of competence and personality to where you can actually do something other than sex work. Then you have others who can only do sex work, and as far as personality, they actually have some sort of disorder, but as a female, you never realize because people are busy staring at your breasts and your butt cheeks. And so you think you're getting on in the world just fine when really most people don't like you.
99% of men won't be honest like you're being right now too. They'll just simp to these girls and kiss their asses.
You were making faces
as
he was saying you disagree with his points. I noticed that you were making. Okay, what do you do specifically?
You love me. You love me. Quit playing. No, you love everything about me. Bring that mic over.
I totally agree.
What do you disagree with specifically then?
Well, I honestly, I feel for her because she wasn't upset because of that. She was upset because of the whole you were like basically just calling all of us a prostitute.
I don't think you did that, did you?
That's how I felt.
I didn't.
I don't think so either. But if I did,
there's nothing wrong with being a prostitute.
You feel me? Like, here's the thing. I've met a lot of chicks who are bona fide.
A sacred prostitute.
I met bona fide street strollers.
It's the oldest profession,
I can respect the
It really is.
I want to be able to respect your hoeing.
That'd be carpet.
You know what I'm saying?
Hunting. Yes, you're right.
I hate when you want to do it and get paid for it and call guys tricks. A trick, who does he patronize? A hoe. So she called him a trick, which means that you're the hoe. So you want to make the money and flaunt it, but you don't want to acknowledge what you're really doing for it. I love a chick who's hoeing I can respect. I know bona fide street strollers who say, I'm a hoe, my mom knows I'm a hoe.
I was going to get to that. I think a lot of women get in this industry and they try to convince themselves that they're okay with it.
Right.
And me, I've dipped my toe in the waters. I realized that wasn't necessarily for me and what fulfilled me as a human being. But by God, girl, if that's what you fucking feel good doing, rock that shit.
Yeah.
Rock that shit, own it, and do something with it. Make it build an empire. Don't feel sorry for yourself. Don't play victim. Own that shit and fucking kill it because there's nothing wrong with that.
You do realize that's exactly what she didn't do, right?
Oh, totally. That's what I'm trying to get at. I think a lot of women still allow themselves to be triggered because I think they haven't fully come to terms with what they're doing versus I love what the fuck I do. I love it. Which is totally fine. There's no any negativity about that. I think it's amazing and it's empowering and brave and freaking badass.
50 years ago, a young lady like that, she would have went through high school, probably struggled through, and then once she got her high school diploma, she would have looked at her prospects and she would have done what most women were doing, which is get a man who can provide, be a housewife, and live her life through. That's what she would have done. Now in this modern world, not having access to that and that not being a typical model, then she goes out into the marketplace and says, how can I make money, A, and then B, how can I make money at a level that my lifestyle is Instagrammable? Right. Because that's what we promote. And that's where she's found herself right now. And frankly, she's lost and she's struggling.
How do you girls feel about it since you're in the industry?
Hold on.
Am I allowed to?
We're trying to go all the way around.
We of course. So, and they'll get a chance to say that. So for you, I know you're married, but I guess prior to you meeting your guy, or maybe you can even say within the confinements of a relationship, how has your career field impacted your situations, the good, the bad, the ugly?
Yeah, I would say that while I was single, because I was single for a while doing it, I was trying to find my passions, my solace, what I wanted to be empowered. Well, try and do.
So what was the good?
Yeah, the good was that I did find that it made me very happy. I did feel very, very comfortable and very, very able to do all these things.
What specifically made you comfortable and happy? Because you named a number of professions.
Well, we're talking about the porn industry, right?
Okay, so it made made you happy.
It made me very happy, and it fulfilled what I needed at the time.
Okay.
When I met, obviously, I would say that the good was that I met him, because if I wasn't myself, I don't think that it would have ever happened like that.
Okay. And then the bad?
And the bad, maybe just seeing true colors of people. That really kind of swayed me. I thought that it was a very open community that was all for each other, and when it's kind of more of a hustle.
So people were judging.
I mean, was falling out with family tough with you, or was that not tough?
With family ties? Oh, right. Okay. So, yes.
That's probably ugly, right?
Pretty big.
That was big. That was big, but I knew that would happen. It was a decision on my end of the spectrum that I already had,
Were you close to your dad, or were you not close?
Not as close as I would like to be. He's like a workaholic, but I do respect him, and I respect his decision. I still love the hell out of him. So.
Okay.
Isn't that industry not very emotional? It's very work. That industry.
What, porn?
Yeah.
I mean, it depends how much you do it.
Okay. What about you? The good, the bad, the ugly when it comes to meeting men and being courted. I want to put emphasis on being courted.
The good is, I found confidence in myself, and I was able to see past fuck boys and all that, and I have been able to meet very intelligent men that have helped me with my business. The bad is boys, men who are infatuated with you and not really with you for the right reasons.
Can you define a fuck boy?
And the what?
I was hoping to hear that definition.
What is
as
a fuck boy in your?
A fuck boy is just a guy who hits you up and they just want to. There is no intention of anything long term.
But don't they need to be lying though to be a boy? Like if they're telling the truth about it, would that make them a boy?
No, Jack, no.
Yeah. So Taylor, you agree with me?
All kinds of levels of the.
So would O.J. Simpson be a fuckboy?
God, here we go.
Just kidding. R.I.P. Juice. I apologize. R.I.P. Juice. Sorry about that.
Fucking segue.
We got controversial here.
Hey.
Actually, no.
Huh?
Don't let him rest in peace.
Yeah.
Let him burn in hell.
Listen. That man ran for 2,000 yards in a 14-game season.
And committed murder.
But I would
the good
say
is
allegedly.
Hold on. So
yeah.
the good is you confidence find different types of men, good and bad. But the bad is you met a lot of men that just want sex. Okay, and then what's the ugly?
And the ugly is domestic violence and my custody issue with my baby daddy.
Did that stem from your career choices?
A little bit.
Okay. All right. What about you?
For me, right now, my dating life is very I but imagining.
So the good is that it's fun.
Yeah, but we're talking about being a stripper. I'm assuming, right? So.
Well, I was gonna. Yeah, any of the professions you wanna. I mean, they're all kind of tandem. Work in tandem.
Yeah, what I'm doing right now, I'm very happy with my dating life. But as a stripper, so the good that came. Let's talk about the bad.
Okay.
The bad that came from it, I feel like when you're in the club and then you see how men act when they don't have respect for you.
Okay. So you see the dark side of male nature.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess you kind of
there's something that you can't really come back from. You can try to heal from that, but in the normal dating life, everything you feel like a man's going to talk to you about, you feel like that's going to be a lie. There's extreme trust issues.